What are Dr. Ammar's views on shedding blood for Imam Hussein? Is there a video on YouTube where Dr. Ammar says that shedding blood is not permitted or permitted? Please specify.
I really enjoy when people put clips of mine on YouTube and they say, Ammar Nkshawani says X and the clip is 3 minutes. I've never given a majlis for 3 minutes. Most are between 48 and 55. So whoever's picking these clips is doing a great job, by the way. But whoever's listening to them, I'm like, guys, you know what? The lecture was about an hour. Try listen to the other parts of the lecture. Then you'll know the context. In that lecture, which they're referring to, the lecture was at Harvard University. And it's a crowd full of professors. You speak to everybody, according to Amir al-Mu'mineen, you speak to everybody to their level. There is a time and place for every hadith. You speak to a CEO of a bank is different when you speak to a caretaker of a mosque. Whether we like it or we don't. When I'm speaking in front of the Harvard professors, one of the areas in the discussion was that they say the Shia self-flagellate. I said very clearly, I said that firstly those who attack us harm ourselves. Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam's father cried until he became blind. If it's haram to harm yourself, so why doesn't Allah condemn Yaqub's excessive crying? But then I also said, however, the Maraja of Ahlul Bayt on discussing this issue also said that if you know you are purposely causing harm unto yourself and harming the image of the religion of Islam, then this is something which is not allowed. It's not my words. You want to ask Sayyid Sistani? Go to Sayyid Sistani now. The ones who have a problem with this are the ones who don't even care what Sayyid Sistani says. They don't even believe in Sayyid Sistani's marja'iyah. So the ones they'll attack you on Azadari, they'll attack you on Azadari because when you give them an opinion of a marja', they're like, oh, we don't believe in marja'iyah anyway. So then why are you listening to my lecture? I have utmost respect for a person who is ready to beat their chest, to slap chains on their back, to strike swords on their head out of love of Imam al-Hussein. I will never make fun of that person. But one thing I will say to that person is, try and reconsider, in your generation and your society, are there better ways of showing love for Imam al-Hussein? When I see some people saying, look at these people, Azadari, they're crazy, they're this, they're that. No, don't disrespect the person who shows love for the grandson of Rasulullah. Don't disrespect. But you, O person who are showing love, are you doing it to make sure your granddad's tradition continues or Imam al-Hussein's message continues? I fear there are some who do Azadari because of the peer pressure, and there may be some who do it because their granddad's Imam Barga's done it for years, they've got to keep the family tradition. Whatever you do, do not ever see yourself bigger than Imam al-Hussein's message. If you are harming Imam al-Hussein's stance on the 10th of Muharram, you have a question to answer on the day of judgment, I tell you. Do it. But if you know you've harmed the image of Imam al-Hussein, just because of your own personal ego, do you know what stage it's reached a few years ago? It's reached a stage a few years ago where people were saying, if the marja' says we can't, we're going to do it purposely to hurt them. Or if that Imam Barga says no, we're going to do it across the road from them so they see us do it. How dare you use Imam al-Hussein's message for your fight? You want to know Azadari? There's more lines on my head than there are roads in Mumbai. From the amount of swords I struck on my head for years. Don't let anyone come and teach me about what Azadari is when half of this head has been struck with swords since the age of 16. But I also came to a day where I realized maybe I can serve his Risala in another way. Maybe now we have blood donation campaign. Maybe now we give out water with a hadith of Imam al-Hussein around it. Maybe now we have an advertising board, who is Hussein, and let the whole world know Hussein. You want to stick to what you've done originally, stick. It's between you and Allah. But be conscious Is this serving Imam al-Hussein or is this hindering Imam al-Hussein? That's all I ask you to ponder.